The world of handheld gaming is changing fast, and at the center of this revolution stands the ASUS ROG Ally 2. To understand why this device is generating so much hype, we need to take a step back and see how far portable gaming has come. From simple black and white handhelds of the past to full-scale Windows gaming PCs that now fit in your backpack, the journey has been remarkable. The ROG Ally 2 is not just another upgrade. It is a signal of where handheld gaming is heading in 2025 and beyond. In this first part of the breakdown, we will look at the history of handheld gaming, the rise of portable PCs, the role of ASUS in this space, and then dive into the design, display, and performance foundations of the ROG Ally 2. This will set the stage to understand why this device may become one of the most influential gaming machines of the year. Handheld gaming started decades ago with devices that now look extremely simple by today's standards. The Nintendo Game Boy was one of the first globally successful handheld consoles. It had a tiny screen, limited visuals, and very basic controls. Yet it became a cultural icon because it allowed players to take games with them wherever they went. Through the 1990s and 2000s, portable devices kept evolving. Nintendo continued to push the category with the Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo DS. Sony entered the scene with the PlayStation Portable and later the PlayStation Vita. These devices gave people a way to enjoy games outside the living room. But still, the graphics and performance of these consoles were far below what a home console or a gaming PC could deliver. Portable gaming was always a compromise between mobility and power. That compromise started to change in the late 2010s with the arrival of hybrid devices. The Nintendo Switch became a massive success because it allowed people to play console-level games both at home and on the go. It had detachable controllers, a dock for the TV, and a flexible design. The Switch proved that gamers wanted more than just casual experiences on handhelds. They wanted something close to console gaming without being tied to a sofa. Around the same time, PC gaming enthusiasts started asking for a way to take their massive libraries of titles with them. They wanted portable devices that could handle Steam, Epic Games, Xbox Game Pass, and all the ecosystems of PC gaming. This demand opened as important as how powerful it is. If you can't hold it comfortably for hours, then even the strongest specs won't matter. ASUS has clearly focused on ergonomics with the ROG Ally 2. The device is slightly larger and a bit heavier than the first model, but this is because of the upgraded internals. To balance that out, ASUS redesigned the grips. They are now more curved, textured, and stable, giving gamers a firmer hold. This reduces hand strain during long gaming sessions. Button placement has also been improved. Every bumper, trigger, and thumbstick has been carefully positioned to feel natural. This kind of refinement may sound small, but it makes a huge difference when you are hours into an intense game. The build itself feels premium. ASUS has used durable materials and a strong frame to give the device a sturdy feel. There are two main versions: a sleek black model with the full specifications and a white version with slightly reduced specs for budget-conscious gamers. Both variants carry the same design DNA, which emphasizes both function and style. The ROG brand has always been about bold, gamer-focused aesthetics, and the Ally 2 is no exception. It looks futuristic yet practical. It is built to survive daily use and travel, while still looking like a device you'd be proud to show off. Now let's move to the display, which is one of the most important features for any handheld. The ROG Ally 2 comes with a 7-inch Full HD IPS panel. At first, you might think Full HD sounds basic in a world where 4K screens exist. But for a handheld, Full HD strikes the perfect balance. Higher resolutions would demand more from the GPU and drain the battery faster. At this size, 1080p looks crisp and sharp. What makes the display stand out is not just resolution but the overall quality. It supports a 120Hz refresh rate, which is a huge plus for gamers who love smooth visuals. Fast-paced shooters, racing games, and action titles all benefit from this higher refresh rate. It makes animations fluid and reduces motion blur. Brightness is another strength. At up to 500 nits, the screen remains visible even outdoors or in well-lit rooms. Many handhelds struggle with visibility in bright environments, but the Ally 2 is designed to be usable anywhere. Color reproduction is excellent, thanks to wide color gamut support and HDR compatibility. This means the games look vibrant, with accurate tones and deep contrast. ASUS has also integrated FreeSync Premium, which synchronizes the GPU output with the display refresh rate. This reduces tearing and stuttering, especially in demanding games where frame rates fluctuate. Together, these features make the Ally 2 one of the best displays ever announced for a handheld. Another detail worth noting is the touchscreen. While most gamers will rely on physical controls, the touchscreen adds flexibility. It makes it easier to navigate windows, browse the web, and even play games that support touch inputs. It turns the device into more than just a console. It becomes a mini PC with multiple use cases. For comparison, when you look at devices like the Steam Deck, the display is good but limited to 60 Hz and slightly lower brightness. The Ally 2 surpasses that, giving gamers a sharper, faster, and brighter experience. Of course, this appealing. Battery life has always been one of the weak points of handheld PCs. More power usually means faster drain. ASUS has tried to address this by equipping the ROG Ally 2 with a massive 99Wh battery. This is a huge improvement compared to other handhelds. Depending on the settings and the game, you can expect 4 to 6 hours of playtime under normal use. For lighter tasks like streaming or indie games, the battery can stretch even further. Compared to the Steam Deck, which usually offers 3 to 5 hours, the Ally 2 clearly has an edge. It is still not as efficient as a Nintendo Switch, but given the much higher performance, this is a fair trade. The ROG Ally 2 is not just about playing games in isolation. It is about being part of a larger ecosystem. Connectivity is where the device shines. It includes 2 USB-C ports, one of which supports USB 4.0. This opens up expansion possibilities like external GPUs, high-speed NVMe drives, or docking to 4K monitors. Essentially, you can transform the Ally 2 into a full desktop-like setup when you're at home. On the wireless side, it supports Wi-Fi 6E, which ensures fast and low-latency connections for online gaming and streaming. Bluetooth 5.2 means you can pair it with wireless headsets, controllers, or other accessories with ease. All of this shows how ASUS has built a device that adapts to different scenarios, on the couch, on the road, or at a desk. To top it all off, the ROG Ally 2 runs Windows 11 Home. This is an important detail because it means there are no restrictions on what you can install. Unlike the Steam Deck, which relies on a compatibility layer, the Ally 2 gives you the full PC experience. You can run Steam, Epic Games, Xbox Game Pass, GOG, and any other launcher you want. You can also install productivity apps, streaming software, and more. This makes it not just a gaming machine but a versatile PC in your hands. In this first part of the breakdown, we have looked at the big picture. We started with the history of handheld gaming and saw how it moved from simple 8-bit devices to full portable PCs. We examined the rise of the ROG Ally line, and how ASUS is positioning itself as a leader in this space. Then we dived into the design, display, performance, and connectivity of the ROG Ally 2. What becomes clear is that this device is not just an iteration. It is a statement. About raw specs, it is about having a company that can deliver firmware fixes, BIOS updates, and ecosystem improvements over time. This gives ASUS an advantage over many smaller brands. The Nintendo Switch is another device that must be mentioned. Technically, the Switch is not in the same category as the Ally 2. It is less powerful, more focused on casual and family-friendly experiences, and tied to Nintendo's exclusive library. But it still competes for gamers' attention. Many people who own a Switch may look at the Ally 2 as an upgrade for when they want more serious gaming on the go. The difference is that Nintendo relies on its games to sell hardware, while ASUS relies on raw PC power and freedom of software. The Ally 2 does not have Mario or Zelda, but it can run almost every other PC game in existence. For many, that flexibility is more valuable. Windows integration is one of the most important aspects of the Ally 2. By running Windows 11, ASUS has avoided the limitations of custom operating systems. This means gamers are not locked to one store. They can run Steam, Epic Games, Xbox Game Pass, GOG, Battle.net, and more. They can also install mods, third-party apps, or even non-gaming software. This makes the Ally 2 more than just a gaming console. It becomes a small computer that you can use for work, streaming, or creative projects. The downside, of course, is that Windows can be heavy and not always optimized for small screens. But ASUS has worked on software layers and tools that make navigation easier. With the touchscreen and controller-friendly UI adjustments, The Ally 2 becomes manageable even in handheld mode. One of the key selling points is Game Pass. Microsoft's subscription service is becoming central to PC gaming. Having access to hundreds of titles for a monthly fee makes the Ally 2 even more attractive. You can download big titles directly or stream them using cloud gaming. Combined with Wi-Fi 6E, the streaming experience becomes smoother, with less lag. This gives the Ally 2 a second life as both a local gaming machine and a cloud streaming device. In many ways, it bridges the gap between portable hardware and streaming platforms.